What's going on, everybody? This is BroncoJuggalo, and tonight we are discussing the 2009 film Wrong Turn 3 Left for Dead. This film was directed by Declan O'Brien and stars Janet Montgomery as our final girl, Alex. Something a lot of people here probably don't know is Janet Montgomery played in the British television show Skins. I happen to be a fan of it, and it's on Netflix. If you're interested, go check that out. Our plot for this movie is that a bus of convicts gets run off the road by Three Fingers, who has survived and was taking care of a baby at the end of part 2. The baby is all grown up now, and he is known as Three Toes. It is Three Fingers' son, inbred son through one of his sisters or cousins or whatever. And between the two of them, they start to play a deadly game of cat and mouse with the convict. Something I never noticed until this film, but Three Fingers looks a lot like Freak Show from Harold and Kumar, which, by the way, I love Harold and Kumar. It's one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite comedies. But yeah, anyways, Freak Show and Three Fingers can be cousins or brothers, or maybe even the same person. So I'm starting to wonder a little bit if these two films aren't related. Part 3 was the very first direct-to-video sequel in this franchise, but since it has been on DVD, and as I said, this film was released in 2009, it has made $5,600,000. It had a $2 million budget, so I guess you could say it's been a pretty successful film. Now, this film does get a lot of hate thrown at it. Some of it's justified, some of it's not. There are some good aspects to this film, and there's some bad aspects to this film. And we're going to get into that right now with our very first con. And my very first con is the acting of the cons. I did not like the people they chose to be the actors in this film. They were not believable as convicts. They were not believable as victims. I did not like the acting of the two main convicts. They are constantly bickering and fighting back and forth, and I just thought that their performances were not great. I wasn't really happy with that. My second con is the dialogue of this film. A lot of the dialogue in this movie is just plain bad. It's cheesy, it's poorly written, and it doesn't sound natural at all. It's very wooden, very poorly delivered, and just, as I said, very badly written. I was not a fan of the dialogue of this film whatsoever. And my third and final con is the money storyline. These guys are out in the middle of the woods in Virginia, or West Virginia. And they come across, I'm assuming, one of Three Fingers' victims' vehicles, which happens to be an armored truck, filled with money. And being cons and being who they are, of course, they try to take as much of the money as they can with them while they're trying to make their escape. It doesn't work, obviously. Bad things happen to greedy people, especially in a horror film. But the reason I have a problem with this is it just did not seem plausible. It didn't seem right. And it seemed unnecessary to the plot of what this movie was. I thought that they wasted a lot of time on it when there were so many other devices to drive the story on this film. We had the undercover cop who was with them. We had the cop that everybody knew was a cop, correctional officer, that everybody knew was a correctional officer who was a hostage. We had a young girl who is a previous survivor of a group of victims. And there were so many plot points and devices that could have been used in the storyline to further it along without the money storyline. I wasn't too big of a fan of that, so. But that really is all my cons for this film. Other than that, I enjoyed this movie. Some of my pros. I was really intrigued by the concept of a killer going after killers. Most of the cons were convicts were convicted of murder, and I really thought that was cool that cons were being hunted and killers were being hunted by another killer, and his killings put theirs to shame. So I thought that was a very intriguing concept, very cool, because in this film it wasn't just innocent teenagers getting killed or innocent people, innocent bystanders. These were bad people getting killed. And it's almost kind of a bittersweet point of view watching these guys get their just desserts. It's almost poetic justice in a way. My next pro is definitely the gore and the kills in this film. This is one of those movies where the gore is just enough to make you have fun with it. It's almost pushing the silly boundary in a way, but it is that good. I love when Three Fingers takes the eyeball out and pops it in his mouth and starts chewing on it. I think it's absolutely hilarious. I love that part of the movie. I also love when Chavez, our main bad inmate, when he dies, Three Fingers starts eating his brains. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely cool, absolutely amazing. This film did leave me with some questions, though. Because finally, in this movie, Three Fingers, from what I've been told and what I understand, because I believe the next three films in the franchise are prequels, I'm not 100% on that yet, but Three Fingers finally dies in this film. He has inexplicably survived the previous two, and I don't see how, because he keeps seeming to get killed in bad ways. But supposedly, he finally dies in this movie. So it leaves some questions. At the very end of this film, who is the cannibal we see at the end of the movie? The kid dies, Three Toes dies, and Three Fingers die. So who is the cannibal at the end of this movie? Just a thought I had. I love the look inside of Three Fingers' cabin, lair, whatever, when our main guard guy is trying to get the girl out. I love the look of it. I think it's absolutely amazing. Well, guys, this is honestly a shorter review, and so far this is my least favorite of the franchise, but I've only seen the first three. I'm about to put in part 4 and check it out. So I gotta say, I know this has been a bit of a shorter review, and hopefully it will, but I don't know if it'll get as many views as my part 2 review. Very shocked by that. Part 2 just skyrocketed. You know, at least for me it did. I mean, it's got like almost 200 views on it, and for me that's a lot. I didn't expect that. I didn't realize there were that many fans out there of part 2. Either that or it's a bunch of people who are trying my channel and probably never come back. I hope not, though. I hope this does really well. I would also like to try and get some feedback, guys, on a question. I'm thinking about doing a contest, of which I'm going to give away a few digital codes that I have for movies. You know, just random ones that I happen to have that aren't expired. Because I never use those things. And I noticed a lot of people giving them away. But I also wanted to know if anybody out there would be interested in the complete collection of the Grudge movies and the Ring movies, all on DVD as a prize. Would you be interested in those at all? I know most people that are into those probably have them. I bought them because it was a really good deal and I can't stand them. So if you're interested in those, let me know in the comments section below, because I'm thinking about having a contest, guys. I'm almost to 300 subs. I'm at, I think, 266 or 267 right now. When I get to 300, I'm thinking about doing a contest. I'm thinking about doing those as partial prizes. There will be more. So, for now though, guys, I am going to close out this video with my favorite kill of the movie. My absolute favorite kill of the movie is the cons are walking basically in line through the woods. I can't remember if they're still chained together at this point. I think they are. I believe they're still chained together at this point. They're walking through the woods, and one of the cons that's with them is an undercover cop. And they trip a booby trap, and a sickle comes swinging down like on a pendulum, and it slices right through the undercover cop's face. I mean, just slices it right here, and the whole front of his face just falls off. And it was absolutely amazing, absolutely well done. There are some great shots in this film. I almost forgot. I'm so sorry. I forgot a big pro for me. Big pro for me is some of the camera work and some of the cinematography in this film. There's a shot where the bus is tumbling and falling and crashing. They buried a camera on the side of the hill, and the bus went directly over it, and it's an amazing shot. It is so cool looking. The director of this film, in my opinion, has some talent. A lot of people give this movie shit. There are some bad acting in the movie and some bad dialogue. But other than that, and a couple of the plot points, as we discussed. But other than that, I really enjoyed this film. I thought that it was doing exactly what I've come to love from this franchise in the first 3 films that I've watched. Great kills, imaginative kills, just the right amount of blood and guts. The humor in this was not as prevalent. I thought that the first 2 had better humor. But I really did enjoy this movie. Like I said, it's probably my least favorite out of the ones so far. I can't wait to get to the ranking on this after I finish all the films. I know I'm going off on a ramble again. I'm waffling. Hi, Lisa. Earlier today, we did our horror stream. I hope everybody that watched enjoyed that. I know that we had quite a few people watching at one point, and that was really awesome. I want to thank everybody that tuned in today. If you want to catch the link for that and see what we were talking about, we talked for about 2.5 hours or so. Go on over to Sean Urshan's channel and check that out. I will try to link it up at the video here. And check out my other reviews in this series. I am doing the entire franchise, then I'll be ranking them. Also coming up this Wednesday, we are doing the final video, Bill and I, in our Friday the 13th review series. We are doing the ranking film. Those have done very well. I've gotten great feedback on those videos. And Bill will be a permanent feature on my channel going forward. I plan on trying to do at least 1 video a week with him for the most part. Sometimes things come up, we can't always get it in. But at least 1 video a week with him. And we're just going to do random videos and random movies. He may join me on my Halloween franchise for a couple of the movies. I'm not sure which ones. I'm going to be putting those out a little quicker than I did the Friday the 13th, because I would like for them all to be out by the time the new movie comes out. So when I go see the new movie, I can give you a initial reaction and review video, and then putting up a ranking for that as well. So that is what is coming up after I finish the Friday the 13th as far as big franchise reviews go. I will be reviewing the Halloween franchise, which I am so looking forward to. It's my absolute favorite franchise. And yes, shut up over there, I hear you. The Michael Myers head is behind the camera, and he's telling me that it's about fucking time I get to his movie. Fuck you. I'll get to you when I get to you, okay? But Halloween, my favorite franchise of all time. I can't wait to get into it. And as my buddy Jason was telling me earlier, I should skip Halloween 3 because I hate that movie so much it wouldn't be a good review. But I think you can do great reviews on bad movies. And I think that is one that Bill will join me on because he does enjoy that movie a lot. So it'll give you a little bit more balanced review because I can't stand it. That's just a sneak peek, guys. This is BroncoJuggalo saying peace.